Hello, my name is Ian Henderson and welcome to another episode of ClickyNet TV. Today is special interview, something that everyone experiences at some stage. It's something that thousands of us look for every day online, and that's how to find a good solicitor in Dublin. We're excited that you're here and we're thrilled to have with us today Martin Maloney of Abacus Legal. Martin, thanks for joining us.
No problem, glad to be here.
Now Martin, you've been part of the highly regarded Abacus Legal team for many years now. We've brought you on here today to answer a question that we've had from several viewers, and that is, with so many solicitors out there, how does someone go about finding the right one for them? What advice would you give to our viewers on what they look for before they hire a solicitor?
Well, it's an interesting question. The common point of contact between clients and solicitors nowadays is to merely Google certain key terms and then review the search results in Google. So the interaction between clients and solicitors primarily now is based on their review of those solicitors' websites. As such, the websites become a critical example of the practice that they are seeking to engage. And if people know how to interpret the websites correctly, then they can choose the right solicitor for them. The first thing that people would look at in relation to a practice that they're interested in instructing is the information that's available on the website from that particular practice. A practice that has a lot of information already on its site is indicative of a practice that's keen to communicate with its clients, and it's good at supplying the information as necessary to clients for their particular needs. It's also a good indication of speciality or professional practice areas within any solicitor's practice. And so it is a good impression, or creates the correct impression within clients' minds by reviewing the material on that website and see what's available. The second thing that people would look at in their website is perhaps the number of solicitors in a firm. Now this is very much indicative of the type of relationship that a client wants to have with its firm. For example, a larger commercial client may choose a practice with a number of solicitors within the practice, and that is because the promptness of the reply and delivery of service is their priority, more so than an individualized personal experience. On the other hand, clients who are looking for a more personalized experience and want to deal with the person that they contact and know that the person that they're dealing with is the person that they'll talk to on the phone and is the person overseeing the work on their file, then they will perhaps choose a smaller practice with a smaller number of solicitors, such as Abacus Legal. People who would contact us know that if they're coming here to have me act on their files, that they will get me on the phone and that I'll be overseeing all the work on their particular files, and it creates a more personalized experience. So it can depend on the nature of the relationship that the clients expect. The last point then is that in these days everything is commercial and price sensitive, and particularly for clients who do not have a relationship with a solicitor who they trust as yet, their concern will obviously be as to billing conventions within that practice, or billing practice and level of fees. It is perhaps more commonly the case that a practice with a number of solicitors will have a certain billing level, and that will be typically more than, for example, a smaller practice where the fees could be perhaps more competitive. So it becomes relevant then as to the type of relationship that client wants to have with that solicitor and what they expect out of it as to who they instruct. And once a client has reviewed the website, reviewed the number of solicitors, once they prioritize what it is they expect from their relationship overall, then they can make an informed choice as to the type of solicitor they would like to instruct. Then the next obvious thing to do would be then just to lift the phone to that practice and talk to the solicitor involved, and then they can form their final view as to whether they're happy to instruct the person at the other end of the phone in relation to their particular matter.
That's excellent advice, Mark. Now let me ask you, having been in business a long time, I'm sure you've seen a lot of solicitors come and go. And I know there's many reasons why you've been so successful. But I guess a lot has to do with the experience that you leave your customers. Can you tell me a little bit about the experience that you and your colleagues provide for your clients?
Well, with a number of years of experience in law, what has become very much the cornerstone of any relationship with a client is communication. So when a client contacts at the outset, the knowledge gap between you is that a solicitor knows the processes, he knows what to expect he or she knows what to expect from systems, timeframes, and costs. Whereas a client coming does not have the benefit of this information. So the first thing that should happen is that the solicitor should clearly communicate to the client what is involved in the particular process that they're involved in, that they're engaging the solicitor for. For example, buying a property, selling a property, starting a business, selling a business, or any of the many areas that people can contact their solicitor for. A solicitor who has sufficient experience in a particular area should be able at the outset to give a reasonable indicative time frame for the completion of that case. And even within the processes of that case, at any particular stage, they should be able to indicate to the client as regards a time frame or an expectation to the client as to the progress of that case and when that should happen. That client then has a clear knowledge and understanding of the process, and it greatly eases their concern and their relationship with their solicitor in what can otherwise be a daunting process, certainly in the case of litigation. Once that has been established and once the expectations have been managed in terms of the clients and clearly explained to them in clear and simple terms, then it becomes a process of ongoing communication to the client to update them as the processes develop in any particular exchange, be that the sale of a house or a complex litigation case. The same fundamental principles apply. If the client knows what's going on, if the client is appraised of the position and has knowledge of what to expect and the time frame in which to expect it, then that client can relax to a degree and be more assured in relation to the conduct of their case. So communication is effectively the cornerstone of the relationship between the solicitor and the client, and good communication is the difference between a solicitor who, with experience, who knows how to manage their clients' expectations and to give them comfort and satisfaction that the service is being delivered.
That's excellent, Martin. Now, I know you'd very generously wanted to offer something special for the people who are viewing this segment today and who are new to you and your company. Can you tell me a little bit about what you would like to offer our viewers, please?
Well, for customers and viewers of ClickyNet TV, what we are offering is a first free consultation on any commercial law matter. We have a very experienced commercial law background. We act in a number of commercial law areas, from online startups to company purchase and sales to licensing pubs and to a number of areas. We're happy to have a first free consultation with anybody in any context in relation to a commercial matter, even if they want to come into us with the bare bones of a business plan, and we'll sit down with them, talk them through what their formalities are and what their best legal strategy should be. A properly constructed legal strategy at the start will inevitably save them money in the long run. So we will have their first consultation with your customers then for free.
That's excellent and extremely generous of you, Martin. So for everyone watching, if you're looking for a truly professional solicitor that you can really trust, you can reach Martin and the team on 01 598 7000, and the numbers at the bottom of the screen now, along with the website www.advocateslegal.ie. So Martin, I know you're really busy, but I just want to thank you again for taking the time to join us and speak with us today. I also want to thank you for your outstanding advice and, of course, your very generous offer.
No problem. I'm glad to have helped.
Thanks again, Martin, and for everyone tuning in to this expert interview, we hope you found it insightful. Thanks and bye for now.
Bye for now.